Hi, my name is John Patrick Morgan, and I'm going to share with you a real quick breakdown about how, in my opinion, the law of attraction really works and how you can use it. So, in my opinion, which is opinion from an experience of basically creating and attracting everything I've wanted my entire life. I'm 40 years old. Google me, read about it, but that's what I've been doing. How it really works for me is very simple. I believe that everything that happens is created by me, and the way it's created by me is through who I'm being. So who I be is the sum total of my thoughts, my feelings, my way of understanding the world, my mood, all of it. That's who I'm being. And then I wake up in the morning and I be that, and circumstances happen, life happens, and I meet that as that person. And then what happens when circumstances meet who I'm being? Actions emerge. I say things, I do things, and those actions create results. And so if I want a particular result, then what's interesting to me is what are the actions that would produce that result? And if that's, once I know what those are, then I'm really interested in, well, who would I need to be to have those actions just show up? And for me also, it's easily, effortlessly, relaxedly, peacefully, lovingly, enjoyably, in a fulfilling way. Because I don't want to just be taking action to get results. I want to enjoy every moment of the journey so that the result at the end is just kind of like icing on the cake. So for me, the primary thing I want to create is an enjoyable experience of life right now. That's why I wear this. It's a Chinese symbol for now. That's the most important thing for me. So as a reverse engineering going on, what do I want to create as a result? What's the action that would create that? Then who do I need to be to have that action just show up all by itself? So once I know who I need to be, for example, I need to be somebody who's primarily oriented towards love and service. I need to be somebody who's asking for what he wants. I need to be somebody who sees money as liquid and believes that it's flowing in abundance. Because when I believe money is liquid and flowing in abundance, I don't come from a state of financial scarcity. I don't hold back. When I'm coming from a place of loving kindness, I'm creating great connection, rapport with people. When I come from a place of I live by asking, I'm always willing to ask for what I want. So I'm cultivating a state of being, right? And those are concepts, those are ideas. So then you intellectually know and understand what you'd want to be in order to do the things that will create what you want. And then, well, how do you be that? Well, this is where the cultivation of mind comes in. So the first thing you want to do is think about it, think about these ideas, but a concept thought about isn't going to change you. The feeling is really what changes you. So how do you get from a thought to a feeling? Well, there's a bridge. It's called imagination. And so you take a thought and you start to imagine. In Disney's terms, you would say imagineering. You actually allow your mind to see imagery that represents these concepts. So how do you create an image in your mind from a concept? Well, you take any idea, any concept, and you put it into a context. What is a context? It's a situation, it's an environment, it's a person. So if I am that I live by asking, let me apply that concept to the context of my work, so to speak. So what would it look like? There's a great question to bring you into seeing. What would it look like? What would I see if I were living by asking? Today, at my desk, with clients or potential clients, what would it look like? And then I have a context for the concept. And as I close my eyes and I contemplate the concept within a context, I start to see. And as I start to see, then I can go into it more. The more I see, the more I can see, and I get curious what would happen next, what might have happened before, what's happening around me. And the more that I see, the more I turn up the volume and the color on that, the more I start to, guess what, automatically feel. And the more that I feel, the more I activate the production of new neural synaptic connections in my body. And that's not just creating a new neuron, but it's creating a new neural pathway within the context of a concept of a way of being. And so I actually, through feeling something that I can see that comes from a concept, I actually start to change who I am. I create new predispositions for my psychology, for my thoughts, for my experience of reality. And then I wake up in the morning as a different person, and then the world happens, and I meet that world. And where yesterday I would have done X, today I'm doing Y because I'm a different person meeting that same circumstance. And when Y happens, when I do Y, when the action comes out of me, all of a sudden the result, the possibility for that result has gone up because that result is likely to lead from the action that is produced by the state of being that we figured out. So there's a lot of concept in this, And if you're following it, then you can get a lot out of this work. And if it's a little bit too much for you because it's missing the content and the example, I would say go find some of my other videos because there's more depth in those and where I break it down more simply for you. But in this video, I just wanted to give you a taste of the possibility that the law of attraction doesn't have to be so magical and impossible to understand and sound like something super far-fetched, that actually can be very tangible. You know, like the moment you see yourself in a certain way, things will just happen for you. And it's not magic. It's because for certain people, you know, look at the book, The Luck Factor by Richard Wiseman. He's a professor, psychology researcher in the UK. And he showed that people who believe they're lucky actually do experience more lucky things. And is that because something magical? He said, no, it's actually because your attention goes towards possibility in ways that people who see themselves as unlucky don't. And so by seeing myself in a certain way, new possibilities open. And that doesn't work just in the context of luck, it works in the context of everything. Actions come from who you think you are, and actions are what produce results. It's not magic, or it is magic, and that's what magic is, however you want to spin it. But my point is that like, you can relax. You're not a woo-woo nutbag if you're using the law of attraction. What you're actually doing is focusing on the highest leverage point for creation, which is the cultivation of who you are, how you see yourself, and how you see the world. That is the source of your experience. It's the source of all the actions you take, which is thus the source of all the results that you get. It's high leverage. The law of attraction is high leverage. Try it on. If you want to learn more about this, then watch some of my other hundreds of videos that's free on the web, or my podcast, or follow me on social media. Or if you really want to dive in and really learn, then join Creating School. Go to creating.school, click the link if you can see it somewhere around here, and get involved in the community and watch the classes in the archive, come to the live classes, ask questions, and most importantly of all, don't just be an intellect and intellectualize and philosophize. Actually practice, do the work, embody it, get it into you. Cultivate who you are. Yeah, if you haven't seen my Beyond Affirmations program, that is where I get into the nitty-gritty of actually cultivating an identity, cultivating who you think you are, because that's going to produce a state of being that produces action, that produces results. So anyway, I've got a million different ways that I can help you with this, but I hope this gives you a little bit of a taster around how the law of attraction really works, in my opinion. I love you for being here and watching. Thank you so much. I'm John Patrick Morgan. I'll talk to you soon. See ya.